Hi, my name is Hina. Welcome to the Feel Fabulous Show. Life takes us on some rather interesting journeys, and having wonderful friends with us on the long ride can make both the best and worst periods a lot more enjoyable. That said, having fake friends can make even the best situation horrid and the worst of life hellish. Welcome to the Feel Fabulous Show. My name is Hina. Today we are going to talk about fake friends. Real friends are there for you when you need them, are fun and supportive, and will call you out on poor life choices because they love you, not because they want you to feel bad. Here are some common traits of fake friends. Listen to them and ask yourself, does this sound like somebody in my social circle? You only hear from them when they need you or want something. Hi there, I haven't talked to you in forever. How are you doing? Are you free next week? Yay! There you go. They waited for you to say yes, happy to meet them, and then like, great, I'm moving and I want to get some help. Wonderful. There you go. They asked you if you're free first, you say yes, then they plant it. They don't tell you why straight away. And you know what? They're more common than you may realise. You might not have heard from this person for 6 months or more, but funny how they come to your mind as they need more manual labour taken care of. Well, the thing is, if you've proven to this person that you'll rescue them whenever needed, you've become the helper, the fixer, and the one they can depend on. Number 2, they put you down. They have subtle digs and playful teasing and backhanded compliments are just a few of the ways fake friends may try to put you down in order to make themselves feel better. They usually do it from a place of pain, having low self-esteem or projecting their issues which have been misread in others in a similar manner. But understanding where their behaviour stems from doesn't make it okay, nor is it easy to deal with. In fact, it can be quite stressful. Here's an example. Look, a female friend may have given you an item of clothing, to a friend, and when they try it on, they say, "Yeah, I thought it was so cute, but it was so huge on me. I figured out it would fit you better instead." Now, that's not a compliment. Number 3, you are their emotional punch bag. You know that person who only ever tells you about all the awful things that are going on in their life. Yes, that one, that negative person that brings it to the table. They often do the complete opposite of what you advise them anyway, and they tend to keep repeating themselves and just that negative energy and self-destructive patterns of behaviour over and over again without ever even learning from them. And they force you to do their emotional labour for them. They will likely tell you about how much better they feel after talking to you as well. So for me, this is one of my biggest ones and the one that I steer clear of because it is the most draining, and people just try and suck all your positive energy out of you until you're literally just left with that poker face. So yeah, be really careful of that one. Number 4, they go ballistic if you call them out on their poor or hurtful behaviour. If you tell a true friend that they've said or done something that upsets them, then apologise and try to make amends. But if you tell a fake friend the same thing, they are likely to get defensive, lose it with you, or start fabricating lies to make you feel that you're the one who's wrong. They actually turn it around, and they may even just stop talking to you for a while or indefinitely. See, the thing is that when someone truly cares about you, they'll do their best to ensure your relation is symbolic. If they care more about themselves, their wants and their needs, then they just stop seeing you as a person who deserves to be respected and cared for. You exist solely for their benefit, and if they want, and at their convenience, not the other way around. So just remember that. Calling them out on their BS shatters them and they will rage. Number 5, they disappear when you need them. Funny how you may always be there for your friend, but when you need them and you need something in return, they're nowhere to be found. Yes, that is not a real friend at all. If you just happen to be busy each and every time you need them, or if they ghost on you and they can't keep a single promise they've made you, then there's a pretty good chance that they're only keeping you around for their own benefit. This is also a common trait of a narcissist, so be careful. If one decides that they're your favorite person, you may be in a whole world of ugly. They'll be difficult to get rid of, as they'll guilt trip you and make you feel like the worst person on the planet for not fussing over them when they're being all fragile and pathetic. Number 6, feel like you're walking on eggshells. Does that sound familiar? Fake friends expect you to be ever supportive, nodding, smiling, creature who agrees with everything they say and are quick to pull out the trigger and start a huge fight with you when you have an opinion or an idea that differs from them. Now, they might spout about political or social issues, expecting you to echo their thoughts and strike you down if you dare to disagree. That's not a true friend. If you do, they may publicly mock you for doing so, tell you how disappointed they are with you for not seeing the truth and cutting them off with the communication until you wake up and see the world from their perspective. Real friends can agree to disagree and respect one another's opinions and beliefs. End of. Number 7, they may fish for more information. Ooh, now some people come into your life and try to befriend you solely to suit another's purpose, so be very careful. It's ridiculous and it's juvenile, but it's really quite astonishing how so-called adults actually seem to have to behave with integrity and maturity, or can't seem to, behave with integrity. Now, a new person may enter your life, normally via social media, let's face it, and is immediately really chatty and eager to get to know you. Be careful. In no time flat, they may start asking you personal questions about some other people in your circle, and if you do, they can just start getting on with some digging. You might laugh at these scenarios, but you will be surprised at how often they occur, despite the fact that they're utterly ridiculous. And I have actually got caught out myself on this a few times with a complete stranger. They get you when you're vulnerable and they start asking you questions. And the thing is, I'm normally quite busy. I love to get back to all my messages, but I am really busy. But now and again, when someone's just said something that's just caught my eye, I may get into a conversation. And this happened about 4 or 5 months ago. And before I knew it, I'd actually explained why I split up with my ex-boyfriend. They got all of that out of me, a stranger. They caught me on a vulnerable moment and they got all that out of me. Be so careful. Gosh, even I fell for that. Number 8, they don't fight your corner. Oh, this one makes me so angry. A fake friend won't stick their neck out and back you up if there is an argument between you and another person. They won't stand up for you and vouch for you, for your character, because that would mean that they will risk being disliked by others around and are in disagreement with you. Instead, they will look on all silently, letting you fight alone and pretend to be in shock. As much as they may gain something from having you in their life, it's not enough for them to take action on your behalf. They would rather lose you than take your side. That's definitely a fake friend. Keep away from them. People who do that make me crazy. I am so the opposite. I'm like a lioness with my friends. Once you come into my circle, if anybody dare upset them or hurt them, in fact, I have the opposite. I have to try and keep myself quiet and keep out of things, because I'm just like, don't you dare hurt my friend, and how dare you speak to them like that or disrespect them. But yeah, that's me. Number 9. They only know you on a superficial level. They know your name, where you live, perhaps what sort of food you like, but that's almost as far as it goes. They don't know what makes you really tick. There's no deeper understanding of you as a unique person. There's superficial level of important detail. And that's because they rarely ask the more probing questions that real friends ask. They never initiate deep and meaningful conversations about life and beyond. In truth, they don't care about connecting with you on a meaningful level because they don't see you as value or as an important part of their life. And that's mainly because, number 10, they mostly talk about themselves. Oh my gosh, this one kills me. When it comes to conversation, their favorite topic is themselves. They are self-absorbed, conversational narcissists who spend the majority of their time discussing their lives and, as we mentioned above, their problems. But they don't often ask, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? And if they do, it's only towards the end of the time when they've exhausted every topic that involves them. That's happened to me, unfortunately, with a few close friends, and I don't think they've even realised what they've done. They've actually even started to ask me about something, and I haven't finished talking, and they've gone straight over and hijacked the conversation. And before you know it, it's end of evening, they're like, oh, we didn't get a chance to talk about whatever it was. Oh, gosh. Number 11, they spread rumour and gossip. If they've heard a juicy nugget of information, you can be sure that everyone they know will have heard about it by the end of the day. They love the thrill of hearing and spreading gossip about other people. You hear it all the time as they unload random facts about another friend. So if they're doing it about another friend to you, they're doing it about you. You pretend to be interested, but you barely know the half of the people they're talking about. And to be quite frank, you probably don't even care anyway. Though, as long as you keep hearing the sound, as long as they keep hearing the sound of their own voice, they feel fine, don't they? And their fakery as friends kick in when they talk about you to other people. They may take one few things that they learnt about you from that conversation you had, just a tiny bit, and it's like social currency to them to win attention from the favour of others. Let me tell you, your secrets are never a secret with them. Now, this happened to me with something quite private. It's not that private now because I have mentioned it in my book. I suffered from alopecia. I told a friend. I have a few of my close friends know about it, but I had some other friends that I haven't actually told about it, and I know exactly who I've told. Another friend mentioned it, and I was like, I didn't say anything, but I just thought, wow, how did you know that? That's come from one of my friends. And that's just like, wow, that wasn't great. Made me feel really, really low. Number 12, they begrudge your success or happiness. As well as what you might be doing in your job, or as happy as you might be in your personal relationships, they won't be happy for you. Now, this actually is very similar to number 2, the habit of putting you down. They don't like to see people doing well in their lives because it shines a light on the way they see their own failures. It's a reflection of their feelings of that negative feeling is actually just how they feel, their insecurities, or it just shows and just it brings out even more where they're not, where they think they're actually failing. Now, some fake friends will even ditch a person whose life is better than theirs, and you may know these because it's too painful for them to watch you grow, and they just can't even admit to it. They won't congratulate you or cheer you on. They'll just go quiet on you and just eventually disappear from your life. I remember when I went out with some friends and I announced my first book, and I actually had it in my bag and I'd kept it a secret. They knew I was writing a book, but when I actually had my first published copy and I showed them, I was absolutely shocked by the faces of some of them. It wasn't of happiness. It was just like, oh, okay. And actually one commented on my image and I was like, wow, really? I was like really taken back by that. But I suppose you can't, judge people, and I don't know. I just don't know what was going through their mind because, I just don't know what was going through their mind. But I saw this continually happen to a few people when I told them about it or showed my book. And, they're literally smiling and you see that smile drop. And it just changes right in front of you, like, wow, you people you don't expect, and they just are suddenly, well, is it a bit of jealousy? It's really sad. But yeah, I mean, I had lots of amazing friends who congratulated me, and lots of people who said, I'm so proud of you and what you've done for the industry. So that was really, really nice. And that book that I'm talking about, by the way, was my first book, called The Permanent Makeup Guide. That was actually about my cosmetic and paramedical tattooing. My second book, which is what I talk about a lot on my podcast, is Dance with the Universe, which people's views suddenly changed, and it was very positive because that book suddenly helped them. But there you go, it helped them. It was something for them. It was a positive for them, their own personal needs. That's why they liked it. Number 13, they will judge your mistakes, failures and poor judgments harshly. I told you so is something that you'll probably hear from a fake friend. They are quick to judge and criticize you and point out all the things you did wrong. They claim to say all the things are in their best interest, but of course it's just to prevent you from doing the same in the future. But in truth, they just enjoy feeling superior to you. They like that little bit of control because it makes you look weaker. They rarely ever console you or lend an ear to you to talk about their problems. They are just quick to offer solutions to everything, though, because they know the best after all. Often they provide the solutions whether you ask them or not. They just keep giving it out, keep giving their opinions. Oh my gosh. They want you to save you so that you can be always in debt to them, even if they can be anything but helpful. Number 14, they hold grudges and they never forget it or let you forget. Should you ever be wrong with your so-called fake friend, they will hold it against you for the rest of your life. They may say that they've forgiven you, but they won't act like they have. And they have double standards, by the way. So if you are running late to meet them, they'll scold you for it. But if you're late to meet them, if they're late to meet you, they'll expect you to go easy on them because it couldn't be helped. Months or years later, especially if they want you to do something because they want to hurt you for some reason, they'll say, remember when you la la la? This is a code for you're a bad person. Oh, I want you to remember that. Or perhaps you owe me big time because of this. If you want to be your friend, if you want them to still be your friend, you have two options. Keep them at a distance and you are comfortable with full knowledge of how they act and operate. Just be mindful that you know how they are. Some people are still genuine, but it's just they have a little bit of a nasty, just a funny trait in them. And sometimes they can actually be quite fun to be around in certain situations. So just as long as you know what you're doing, or you can tell them how you feel and risk offending them, and then of course cutting them as a friend. It is possible that you'll make them more aware of their negative behaviour and may seek over time to become a true friend, but I wouldn't expect that, and I wouldn't rely on something like that. It's just really important to realise that friendships have a natural ebb and flow with love and happiness. A real friend may one day stop being your friend in life. People naturally drift apart because increasingly distance until no more connection is made. If you no longer want to be friends, then ultimately you just need to stop trying to be friends. Eventually they'll get the message. So I would say most definitely think about who your friends are. Think about who you want in your circle. Who is your tribe? Who makes you feel good? Who doesn't make you feel good? Just be aware of this. Life is too short. And at times, current times, our friends and people we have around us, it's so important to nurture your soul. Do they nurture your soul? Do you nurture their soul? You should be complimenting each other. Good friends challenge each other. Like I said, I'm like a lioness to my friends. And, if I can see an area, I will challenge them and say, look, do you think you could be doing this, especially in business? as I have so much experience, I will try and help them as much as I can, or in other areas, and vice versa. I hope it should work both ways. You should be there for each other. Friends are for life. There's a saying, you can choose your friends, you can't choose your family. So choose wisely. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, God bless.